What is going on, my squad? Yo, y'all made it to another Sunday session. I was watching a video the other day, and it was on my TikTok, and it was basically a nostalgic video, right? And it was about the early 2000s, and it was talking about, like how we had our Game Boys, or, how we knew our friends were outside because all the bikes were at the friend's house, or what have you. It got me thinking that life really used to be simple. And not in a sense because life now is simple, but in a very lazy way because everything is so accessible just at your fingertips. And you can order anything or stream anything, right? But it had me thinking on how life changed, guys, and we're gonna talk about nostalgia today. In this video, right? And like maybe the third section of it, it showed Blockbuster. And it had me thinking like, it's so sad that kids won't be able to experience that with their families. Getting off of school, ordering some pizza, and then your dad's like, hey, yo, let's go to Blockbuster and let's go rent a movie. That's sad. Like a lot of kids won't experience that. Back in the day, it wasn't that it was accessible, but we had TV channels, we had regular cable and stuff like that, so we had to wait for the commercials unless you had your direct TV box and you were able to pause it and rewind it and what have you, right? But that new show that was gonna come out, it was like it was like going to your favorite concert. You didn't want to miss it. Back in the day, we had something called a TiVo, right? And TiVo is basically, I wouldn't say it's our Netflix, but it was basically what TiVo is you can, say you're at school, right? And you have to go to practice, or say you had to go to work, or say you had to go to, on an important date or maybe a business meeting. What TiVo allowed you to do was record the show that was airing live and save it onto your box so you could watch it later. And that was magical. TiVo was magical for a lot of people who, got to experience TiVo. And nostalgia, guys, let's talk more onto the Blockbuster thing. And that's what's crazy. A lot of kids will not experience a lot of that with their families. You guys remember Netflix? Netflix used to be a service, right? A subscription service where you would pay monthly and you would pick a movie you wanted to watch and they would send it in a physical CD to your house in the mail. You know how you have Steam, you know how you have Game Pass and, PlayStation Network Pass and what have you. We had GameFly. GameFly was the same thing. You pick a game you wanted to rent and they sent it to your house and you got to play it, you just send it back. That was a different kind of experience, the physical games, guys. This era is just, this generation is, nothing is physical anymore. It's all digital. You're all leasing, all renting, all financing. No one owns anything anymore. Yeah, a lot of the experiences that you got to experience with your family are gone. And I wouldn't say social media really ruined the world. And a part of it is I feel like social media really did ruin a lot of how we interact with each other. That's real, guys. But in a sense of, now you can have a movie night, and you can grab the kids together if they don't want to fucking play Fortnite or blow you off because, they have more important things to do, you know. Sometimes I'll go to my stepson's room and I'll be like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" And he'll be like, "Hey, I just need some personal space right now." And I'll be like, "Well, okay." But you can rent a movie with the family, but everything's on a subscription. We have all this shit, guys. I own, right? Me and my wife own Disney Plus. We own HBO Max. We own Netflix. We own it, but we have subscriptions for. And that's the sad part because say something happens in the world and they just shut all that shit off. Imagine all of our bank accounts are still tied to it. Are they still going to be pulling money out for something that doesn't exist? right? That's the stuff that's nothing's physical anymore. And, kids don't get to experience going to the movie place and getting a movie with your family and then going to order a pizza right after. And you have that same idea now, but now you just go on Netflix or, Fandango, you rent a movie and then you just call and get the pizza ordered. And, it's almost the same thing. I get it, but I guess it's just the experience of, going to a place of, the place of interest. There was a lot of attractions. Back in the day, there was a lot of attractions. There was toy stores that were just toys. Toys R Us, you had KB Toys. We had Kmart, and Kmart was like a Target and Walmart mixed. If I could like give you the closest explanation to that, right? But yeah, we had guys, Redbox. Do y'all remember Redbox? All those fucking machines that they would place outside of every Walmart, Fry's, Albertsons, fucking Circle K, Quick Trip. Redbox was everywhere. And Netflix, you ruined that. Netflix ruined Redbox. I used to love going to Redbox and just getting some late night snacks and being like, hey, you want to check out the movies? That was the move, guys. Redbox. And you know what else? We're talking about nostalgia, right? You all remember couch co-op games, and I'm talking about everybody from 1997 and younger, right? Even the early 2000s, to be honest with you, because PlayStation 2 and all that kind of shit had some hitters. Even PS3 had some, but y'all remember couch co-op games? You had PlayStation, your GameCube, or what have you, and you can connect 4 controllers, guys. Hold on. Look at this shit. Give me 1 second, squad. This shit right here, guys. Y'all remember this shit? Let's talk about nostalgia, guys. Y'all remember this shit? The GameCube? This shit's still 200 and something dollars, guys. Let's talk about nostalgia. Couch co-op games. I don't know who the fuck ruined this in the industry, guys, but couch co-op games. You were able, look at, you see that? That's 4 different remote connections. You can connect 4 different remote controllers, guys. And you can play Mario Kart with your whole family on one TV, split screen, 4 ways. A lot of kids are not going to experience that. The way they experience it is they have a PlayStation 5 with an only online network game, and hopefully your buddy has that fucking game because you won't be able to play it on the same console together. You have to have your separate consoles, your own separate games, and your own separate online IDs and your own separate memberships. That's greed at its finest, guys. This right here, how hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games that are multiplayer and you can play on one TV with your friends because you can connect 4 controllers. And so here's another one, right? The Nintendo Switch, guys, right? The Nintendo Switch. You can play 4 players on it, and I respect this console because of that, as long as you have your extra Joy-Cons. But the Nintendo Switch, I love it because, I mean, it sucks that you have to pay for a subscription to get all the older games, but you can still couch co-op or split screen on your TV. I know some games aren't like that, and I feel like that's where a lot of the greed comes in, guys, because every game you can literally just, you know, pop that shit open, put your game in, doop, turn it on, do 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 do, boop, and then you're already in. You don't got to worry about your online subscription. You don't got to worry about if it's going to connect to Wi-Fi so you can play it. PlayStation 2, guys, GameCube, PS3, that's something that a lot of people won't experience. You know why? Because you can't just call your friends over and be like, "Hey yo, let's hop on the game. Hey yo, let's play Left 4 Dead 2 together." Or "Hey yo, let's play Twisted Metal." Or "Hey yo, let's play ATV Off-Road Fury 2." "Hey yo, let's play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit." "Hey yo, let's play Mario Smash Melee." You know what I mean? You can call your friends over and have a group of buddies come over to the crib and y'all can just take turns with the remotes and play on one TV and you're having a party. The only way now you're playing with your boys at the crib is if you come over to the crib and you have separate TVs, or maybe he's playing Fortnite on his phone or you're on the PlayStation while he's on the Nintendo. It's not the same. Mario Party's not the same anymore. I'm not here, to rant on about I wish things were the same, take us back to this and this and that. No, motherfuckers, just take us back to couch co-op where we can play games with the family. And I do respect that PlayStation does have some couch co-op games, with two players, but yo, it's not even the same. Y'all remember going to Peter Piper's and being able to play Dark Legacy or Gauntlet? There were these little arcade games where you can play with four people and you can be a warrior, a mage, you can be someone with like a bow, and then you can be like I think this like brute force guy or whatever. But you're on one map. It's kind of like, oh, what's the game? Diablo. It's kind of like Diablo, but you're four players in that one little, area. And that's nostalgia, guys. Like nostalgia's ruined. And like I said, not in a sense of take me back to 2000 or, I mean, not 2000. You're fucking, your boy was like 3 years old at 2000. But, I just remember that, you guys had hawk hands. I had sock and boppers, or there's just a lot of family games are gone. A lot of nostalgic things, I wouldn't say are gone, but are getting ruined with all these streaming services, or getting ruined with everything that's accessible, you know? And it's just making the world lazier, guys. Who remembers, just calling your cousins over and being able to play PlayStation 2 with them? Being able to play GameCube with your family, you can have a family fun night. Yo, the Nintendo Wii was a hit. And video games are, they're not the same anymore. And they will never be the same because new generations, new kids, this and that and the third, but at least let them enjoy an experience with them with something like this. You know what I mean? You don't need Wi-Fi. All you need is a game and four controllers in your family. It's all you need. You don't need Wi-Fi for this. I have some offline games on this thing, right? Some offline games on this thing. And some of them still require Wi-Fi to play. The PlayStation 5 requires Wi-Fi to play. And some games don't, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's just the general sense of it. And everything has to be connected to the internet. We lost Gamefly, we lost Redbox. We lost a lot of the experiences of being able to go out with your family to physical places and, enjoy the attraction of it. Everything is online, e-commerce. Everything is personalized ads. You want to talk about nostalgia? Check this shit out, guys. I'm going to show you a couple games right here, right? All right. Talk about nostalgia, guys. King Kong, guys. King fucking Kong? Yeah. You know what guys. Blood Rain? Yeah. Come on, guys. Yeah. Yo, Spyro? What the fuck? Look it. We talking about nostalgia today. Y'all remember this shit? The fucking GameCube, you can just play with your family. You know what I mean? You can still play with your family on the Switch, but or let's talk about, y'all remember the little the what were they called? The ripsticks? They were like a skateboard, right? But it wasn't your normal skateboard. It only had two wheels and it had like a spine and you would have to like shift your feet and move it. You know what I mean? Kind of like a boogie board in a way. But yeah, guys, the ripstick or families don't even have fucking trampolines outside anymore. You know? I remember like every other house had a trampoline. Now they don't have trampolines. Kids aren't outside playing, and if they are, it's on their phone or hey, let's go pretend to play Fortnite in real life. You know what I mean? They're not actually thinking with their imagination. Let's play cops and robbers, or let's go play tag, or let's play hide and seek, or let's go play hopscotch. Let's go jump rope. You know what I mean? Like it's just I don't know what I'm trying to get at today, guys, with this, but this Sunday session just brought me back, and that video brought me back. Y'all remember the razors? Y'all remember the sidekick phones that would flip? It'd be like, shh, damn. Those were crazy word, guys. Nostalgia. And like I said, not in a sense of it being old, but in a sense of the experience with your families. That's what we're missing now is the experience with the families. Everything is so personalized to every individual person. You know, you each have to have a console now. You can't just have one console for the family. Now each console has all these different users and you gotta make different accounts. You don't gotta do that with GameCube. But that's the topic for today, guys. And I was kind of sad by this. And yo, if y'all fuck with the video, subscribe, guys. We talk, we getting deep today. We reminiscing. But yo, Tento's family, if you haven't, try Left 4 Dead 2, guys. If you have Xbox, y'all missing the fuck out. Need to try Left 4 Dead, guys. There's hella games out there. Yo, get yourself an old console. They're still kind of pricey, but it's well worth building the collection, guys. Start building yourself a collection of physical games. Because now we're pre-ordering. Think about it. Just think about it. I pre-ordered Black Ops 6, but I had every right to because I got the physical hard metal copy, right? Look it. This is why I pre-order games. I pre-order games, guys, so I can get the physical copies. The physical copies. There's a disc that comes with this. When you guys pre-order games now, y'all are fucking pre-ordering games for a cosmetic. For, oh, maybe I'm getting a couple of new Call of Duty points. Fucking loser. Y'all are fucking a waste. Think about this. Y'all are pre-ordering a game that's not even physical. You're paying extra money for, something that people are going to pay less for the day it comes out if you'd have just waited. You're pre-ordering a digital game for fucking what? You're just giving them free money. You don't have nothing physical. Per se, per se, you know, say they turned off PlayStation Network and all you have is all your digital stuff on there. Where does it go? When you pre-order games, it's because you're pre-ordering for something physical. You're actually going to get something back. Nowadays, pre-ordering is a waste of time. Just wait on it. It doesn't make sense. Why are you going to pre-order? You're going to have to wait for it to come out anyways that same day. You just paid an extra $30 to get the fucking deluxe edition. For what? Pre-ordering games doesn't make sense anymore, guys, and I strongly believe that. Don't pre-order games, just wait for that shit to come out. You're giving them extra money to fucking sell the idea of the game. Unless it's physical, don't pre-order it. It's as simple as that. Get yourself physical games. Physical games, guys. Because the digital world is, you're not going to own anything. That's real. I don't know how much I can stress that shit. But yo, Tento's family, guys, much love. And I had to get on this shit and talk about this because it was from the heart. And I saw that video and it made me a little bit sad, y'all. But on to the next one, y'all. Later.